A while back, I was in a tough spot job-wise. I'd been out of work for what felt like an eternity, sending out resumes, going to interviews, and just hoping for that one break. It was frustrating, to say the least. But I've always been a believer in the idea that sometimes you just have to trust the universe to guide you to where you're supposed to be. So one sunny afternoon, feeling a bit defeated after another round of thanks but no thanks, I decided to take a drive. I hadn't been in that part of town before, kind of on the outskirts, It felt strange, almost like I was in uncharted territory. But I figured, why not? Maybe a change of scenery would do me good. As I drove around, I found myself downtown, visiting places where I had applied months ago. Each stop felt like déjà vu, all the same responses. No openings, not the right fit, you name it. By the time I hit midday, I was ready to call it quits and head back home. I started driving west, or at least that was the plan. But here's where things got interesting. Somehow my car decided to turn south instead. I remember thinking, okay, this is weird. Why am I going this way? I shrugged it off, figuring I'd just turn right at the next stop sign to head back in the direction I intended. But you guessed it, at the next intersection, I turned left and found myself heading east. Now, I'm not one to ignore signs, figurative or literal. So, I started to pay attention. And wouldn't you know it? Just a few blocks down the road, in a part of town I'd never been to before, there it was. A warehouse where I had also sent in an application ages ago. I couldn't help but laugh. Was this some kind of cosmic joke, or was I finally onto something? I parked my car outside this big warehouse, feeling a mix of curiosity and hope. As I walked through the main entrance, navigating my way to the personnel office on the right, I couldn't shake the feeling that maybe, just maybe, this was where I was meant to be all along. The door was partially open, and I stuck my head in, introducing myself warmly. "Hi there, I'm Alex. I applied for a position here a while back." The woman behind the desk looked up, holding my application in her hands. There was a moment of surprise on her face, followed by a smile. "Alex, right? Do you live at such and such address?" she asked, reading from my application. I nodded eagerly, suddenly feeling like everything was falling into place. "Can you start on Monday?" she asked, almost eagerly. I couldn't believe it. "Yes, I believe I can," I replied, my heart racing with excitement. It felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, knowing that all those months of searching and waiting had finally paid off. Walking out of that warehouse that day, I couldn't stop thinking about how strange it all was, the twists and turns that led me to this moment. But more than anything, it reaffirmed my belief in timing and trusting the journey. Sometimes, you just have to let go and let things unfold as they're meant to. And hey, who knows? Maybe that unexpected detour was exactly what I needed to find my way forward.
Hey, look, a new subscriber.